Evaluation and critique of the Valeria Afanador case processes up to August 31, 2025. The case of Valeria Afanador, a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who disappeared from her school in Cajicá, Cundinamarca, on August 12, 2025, and was found deceased on August 29, 2025, has raised significant concerns about institutional coordination, security protocols, and investigative diligence in Colombia. This evaluation and critique analyze the processes involved in the search, investigation, and institutional response up to August 31, 2025, drawing on available information from web sources and posts on X. The analysis focuses on the effectiveness of the search efforts, the role of the educational institution, the investigative approach of the authorities, and the broader societal and institutional implications. 1. Background and context. Valeria Afanador, a student at Gimnasio Campestre Los Laureles Bilingüe, was last seen on August 12, 2025, during a school recess. Her disappearance triggered an 18-day search involving multiple stakeholders, including the police, firefighters, the Colombian Red Cross, the Fiscalía General de la Nación, Attorney General's Office, and community volunteers. The discovery of her body in the Rio Frio, approximately 300 meters from her school, confirmed a tragic outcome and intensified public and familial demands for justice. The case highlighted systemic issues in child safety, institutional accountability, and the efficiency of search and investigative protocols in Colombia. 2. Evaluation of search efforts. 2.1 Scope and Scale. The search for Valeria Afanador was extensive, involving over 200 individuals, including police, firefighters, civil defense, and volunteers, supported by 10 specialized canines, drones, boats, and an ambulance. The operation, coordinated by the Unidad Departamental de Gestión del Riesgo, the Gestión de Riesgos Municipal, and the Alcaldía de Cajicá, covered rural and urban areas, including the Rio Frio and nearby wooded regions. The use of technology, such as drones and security camera footage, and the deployment of canine units demonstrated a commitment to leveraging available resources. A reward, initially set at 20 million pesos and later increased to 70 million pesos, was offered to encourage public cooperation, and Interpol issued a yellow alert on August 20 to aid the search. Strengths: multi-agency collaboration, the involvement of multiple entities, including the Fiscalía, STIN, and local government, ensured a broad resource pool. Community engagement, the mobilization of over 200 volunteers and the use of social media and flyers to spread awareness reflected strong community support. Technological integration, the use of drones, canine units, and camera footage analysis showed an attempt to employ modern search techniques. Weaknesses: delayed protocol activation. The family and media reports criticized the delay in activating specialized protocols, such as Interpol's Yellow Alert, which was issued 8 days after Valeria's disappearance. This delay may have hindered early leads. Repetitive searches in the same area. The body was found in an area previously searched multiple times, raising questions about the thoroughness of initial efforts. Governor Jorge Emilio Rey noted that the site had been inspected repeatedly, suggesting possible oversight or external interference. Lack of immediate action. The school's delay in notifying authorities, reportedly 2 to 3 hours after Valeria's absence was noticed, potentially lost critical early hours for intervention. 2.2 Community and media involvement. The community of Cajicá played a significant role, organizing marches, distributing flyers, and using social media to amplify the search. Posts on X, such as those by @MJVC_0, and at Jorge Emilio Rey, underscored the public's emotional investment and the pressure on authorities to act swiftly. However, the family expressed frustration over unverified rumors on social media, which added emotional strain and potentially complicated the investigation. Critique: while community involvement was a strength, the lack of centralized control over information led to speculation and misinformation, as noted by the school's request to avoid unconfirmed reports. The authorities' failure to provide regular, transparent updates exacerbated this issue, leaving the family and public in a state of uncertainty. 3. Role of Gimnasio Compestre los Laureles. 3.1 Security and Supervision. Valeria's disappearance occurred during a school recess, with security camera footage showing her walking near a fence bordered by bushes. The school's delay in noticing her absence, and notifying authorities, 2 to 3 hours, was a critical failure, as highlighted by the family's lawyer, Julian Quintana. The institution's security measures, including the vulnerability of the perimeter fence, were scrutinized, with Quintana suggesting that the lack of supervision may have enabled a third party to abduct Valeria. Critique: negligence in supervision. The school's failure to monitor a child with special needs during recess indicates a lapse in duty of care. Children with Down syndrome often require closer supervision, and the absence of immediate action suggests inadequate protocols. Delayed response: the 2 to 3 hour delay in alerting authorities and the family is unacceptable, as rapid response is critical in missing child cases. Institutional accountability: while the school issued statements expressing grief and committing to cooperate with authorities, its initial response lacked transparency about internal failures. The identification of an ex-employee as a suspect by the school's rector suggests prior knowledge of potential risks, which should have prompted stricter security measures. 3.2 Post-incident response. Following the discovery of Valeria's body, the school declared a week of mourning, suspending classes for 3 days and organizing psychological support and prayer sessions. While these actions aimed to address the emotional toll on the community, they did little to address the family's accusations of negligence or restore public trust. Critique: the school's post-incident measures were reactive rather than proactive. A more robust response would have included an immediate review of security protocols and a public commitment to implementing changes to prevent future incidents. The focus on mourning, while empathetic, did not adequately address accountability. 4. Investigative processes. 4.1 Fiscalia and CTI involvement. The Fiscalia General de la Nación, with support from the Cuerpo Técnico de Investigación, CTI, led the investigation, assigning 2 prosecutors, one from the Gaula unit, specializing in kidnapping and extortion, and another from a local unit handling urgent searches. The investigation explored multiple hypotheses, including accidental disappearance, kidnapping, and homicide. The discovery of Valeria's body on August 29 shifted the focus to homicide, with the Instituto Nacional de Medicina Legal tasked with determining the cause of death. Strengths: dual prosecutor approach, assigning specialized prosecutors from Gaula and a local unit allowed for a multifaceted investigation, covering both criminal and accidental scenarios. Forensic diligence: the prompt transfer of the body to Medicina Legal for autopsy and identification ensured a scientific approach to establishing the cause of death. Broadened search scope: the Fiscalia extended the search to 4 departments along the Rio Frio, demonstrating a commitment to exploring all possibilities. Weaknesses: slow progress: the family's frustration, voiced by Manuel Afanador, highlighted the lack of concrete leads after 18 days, with accusations that the Fiscalia lacked the technology and resources for an effective investigation. Transparency issues: the Fiscalia's call for prudence and reliance on official channels limited public updates, fueling distrust and speculation. The family's lawyer noted persistent doubts about the body's placement in a previously searched area, suggesting investigative gaps. Unresolved hypotheses: while homicide became the primary hypothesis post-discovery, earlier theories, for example, Valeria hiding voluntarily due to her Down syndrome, were not adequately pursued or communicated, leaving the family without clear answers. 4.2 Governor's Hypothesis and Implications. Governor Jorge Emilio Rey's statement that the body was likely placed in the Rio Frio recently, given prior searches of the area, introduced a critical investigative angle. This hypothesis suggests foul play and possible manipulation of the crime scene, potentially implicating a third party. However, the lack of immediate evidence to support this claim, as of August 31, indicates a need for more robust forensic and investigative follow-up. Critique: the governor's public hypothesis, while raising valid concerns, risked premature conclusions without forensic confirmation. The Fiscalia's failure to provide timely updates on this theory further eroded public confidence. The investigation's reliance on Medicina Legal's findings, while necessary, delayed actionable outcomes, leaving the family and community in limbo. 5. Societal and institutional implications. 5.1 School Safety Protocols. The case exposed significant gaps in school safety protocols, particularly for children with special needs. The ease with which Valeria left the school premises and the delay in noticing her absence highlight the need for stricter monitoring, secure perimeters, and immediate response mechanisms. The rector's identification of an ex-employee as a suspect suggests that schools must improve vetting and monitoring of staff and former employees. 5.2 Institutional coordination. The delayed activation of specialized protocols and the family's perception of negligence by the Fiscalia and CTI point to systemic issues in Colombia's response to missing children cases. The lack of coordination between the school, local authorities, and national agencies like Interpol hindered early intervention. The case underscores the need for a unified, rapid response framework for child disappearances. 5.3 Public trust and media role. The intense media coverage and social media activity amplified public awareness but also fueled misinformation. The authorities' limited communication exacerbated this issue, as the family and community sought answers through unofficial channels. The Procuradoria's call for celerity in the investigation reflects broader societal pressure for accountability, but without transparent updates, public trust remained strained. 6. Recommendations. Based on the critique, the following recommendations address the identified shortcomings: enhanced school safety protocols, implement mandatory real-time monitoring for students with special needs. Install secure perimeter fencing and surveillance systems with immediate alert mechanisms. Train staff on rapid response protocols for missing students, with mandatory reporting within 15 minutes. Improved investigative coordination. Establish a national protocol for immediate activation of search and investigative mechanisms, including Interpol alerts within 24 hours. Enhance inter-agency collaboration with clear roles for the Fiscalia, CTI, police, and local governments. Invest in advanced forensic and tracking technologies to reduce reliance on manual searches. Transparent communication. Require regular public updates from the Fiscalia to counter misinformation and maintain trust. Create a centralized platform for families to access case progress and provide input. Community and media management. Develop guidelines for responsible media coverage to minimize speculation and protect families' privacy. Leverage community support through structured volunteer programs coordinated by authorities. Conclusion? The Valeria Afanador case reveals critical flaws in the institutional response to child disappearances in Colombia, from delayed notifications and inadequate school supervision to slow investigative progress and limited transparency. While the search effort demonstrated significant community and multi-agency involvement, systemic gaps in coordination, resource allocation, and communication undermined its effectiveness. The tragic outcome has sparked a national debate on school safety, institutional accountability, and the need for robust protocols to protect vulnerable children. Moving forward, implementing the recommended reforms will be crucial to prevent similar tragedies and restore public trust.